How to be successful, part 5. This video is going to talk about how to get money. Now, money is not a bad thing. A lot of people think that they're being altruistic by taking a job that doesn't pay a lot or it makes them feel uncomfortable to express the desire to make $500,000 and $1 million a year. The reality is that money provides you with opportunities and freedom. When you have a lot of money, your boss, if he's having a bad day, you don't have to listen to him. You can walk out of the office and not have to worry about the financial repercussions of starting up your own business or traveling or spending your time in whichever way you want. So having money is one of the best ways to give you not only financial freedom, but also the ability to have control over how you spend your time. One of the best ways of actually getting money is not spending money on dumb shit. Now, I think this is really important because you see a lot of people on Instagram buy expensive cars and houses or spend money on designer clothes. And unless you're actually building a brand and you're a fashion designer or you're someone who makes money by wearing really nice things, like you're a fashion icon, there's really no need for you to spend money on expensive clothes or expensive cars. Plus also, think about it. If you portray the image that you're someone who likes to spend money on cars, houses, and clothes, then other people are going to keep you to that image, and you're going to have to spend a lot of money on them in order to maintain that perception that they have of you. So unless you're making $5 or $10 million a year and you actually derive enjoyment by spending money on materialistic items, then there's really no need for you to even partake and try to compete on those types of things. So now that we got that out of the way, let's focus on one of the main things that you need to do in order to increase your income. And probably the most important thing is to focus on the long term. So today is July 4th. This is going to be my 4th video of the day. And this is a holiday. It's supposed to be an off day. And maybe I only get a few thousand views on this video. But if I make 4 videos every single day, in a year, this video will get a few 100,000 views. And if I do that for the next 3 or 4 years, this video will get around 2 or 3 million views. The point is, you shouldn't try to compare yourself against other people. Maybe if you do this for an entire year, you'll make $20,000, while your friends are making $100,000. But 3 years from now, your friends will be changing careers because they don't actually enjoy what they're doing. But if you enjoy and you're passionate about what you're doing, then you can grow that 20,000 to 35 to 60 to 90 to 120, etc. And if you have a long-term game plan, then you're actually in control of your content creation strategy. You're in control of your brand, and you are, in essence, in control of how much money you're going to make in the future. You're essentially sacrificing your long-term for the short-term when you accept a job that pays you a large amount of money but which you don't like. Instead, if you have the financial wherewithal to support yourself and to cut your expenses, you're always going to be better off by making a small amount of money in the immediate near term, and then with the hopes of putting in the work and then growing that small base into something that's much larger in the future. I see a lot of people who become very fulfilled by simply sacrificing the short term in order to set up their long-term game, because it really is a game. Like when I worked as an investment banker at 20 years old, I did that for 5 years, which is longer than probably 80% of the people in the financial services industry. And then when I left investment banking, even though I was making and I banked a lot of money in those 5 years, the only thing that I had to show for it was a big bank account, but I had to start all over. Those people who started at 20 years old and were making 30,000, after that 5 years, they were probably making 300,000 in something that they actually legitimately enjoyed. And then if you add an incremental 10 years of investment into their business, maybe they're making $5 or $10 million a year. So they started at 20,000 and now they're making 5 or 10 million, and they have financial freedom, they have control over their time. And the reason why they did that is because they looked at the big picture and they were not persuaded to trade their long term for a short term gain. Another thing that you really have to focus on is how you make your money. When I scroll through Facebook or scroll through Instagram, I see all of these people who pretend to be fake gurus, like they're trading penny stocks and Forex. I know with 100% certainty that all those people are frauds. How do I know? Well, I went to an Ivy League university and I majored in finance. I worked as an investment banker for 5 years. I worked at and interviewed at pretty much every single investment bank, including Goldman Sachs, Blackstone, etc. And I've been trading for the past 20 years. All of these people, even though they might be defrauding innocent people and making money, I definitely think that they're essentially selling their soul in order to make a short-term gain. In order to reach fulfillment and to be happy and to look back and not have regret, you really have to help a lot of people. So be careful, put in the work, and be very cognizant and careful in how you make your money, and don't just focus on that dollar amount, because the reality is that as long as you're careful about how you spend your money, it's not going to matter if you make $200,000 a year, $2 million a year. The only reason why people are really concerned about making as much money as possible is because they spend too much money, or they have their ego tied in to how much money they make so that they can compare themselves and feel better about themselves because they make more than their friends. But the reality is that your lifestyle is probably not going to change if you increase your earnings from $200,000 to $1 million a year. And if your lifestyle is increasing substantially, that means that you are spending too much money, and as a result, you're going to have to continuously increase your income to simply substantiate and maintain that level of lifestyle. The point is, you want to help as many people as possible, and you want to be careful on how you make your money. The amount of money that you make is simply a reward for the amount of people that you impact and the amount of people that you help. Don't set a goal and say, my goal is to make $5 million this year. Like when I'm trading, my goal is, to make $1 million this year, but I really want to make as much money as possible so that I feel good about myself, so that I can then reinvest that money into the business so that I can help more people learn how to trade stock options so that they have financial freedom. So the last thing that I want to talk about, and this ties into being very careful on how you make your money, is just be careful to make sure that you do the right thing. And the final thing is you have to watch how you use your time. You have to create more than you consume. I'm very, very selective on what I choose to consume. One thing that I definitely have to cut back on is I definitely consume too much sports information. Over the past 2 weeks, I've consumed probably around an hour or two of videos on YouTube about LeBron James and where he's going to go. And that type of stuff is just a complete waste of time. So even myself, and I'm definitely not a finished product. It's always going through the motions and walking through this journey in order to improve myself. But I'm probably better at it than I used to be, but I'm not where I want to be in the future. I want to definitely improve how I utilize my time. And if you can self-audit and see how you use your time, then you should definitely cut out the things that are not giving you a tremendous amount of value. So that's it. Remember, money's not a dirty thing. It's not a bad thing. You should strive to make money. You should increase your skills, your monetizable skills. You should utilize your time well. You should invest in yourself for the long term. And if you have any questions, comment below and I'd be happy to help you. Once again, this is David Jaffe with davidjaffe.com and BestStockStrategy.com. And if you have any questions, let me know and I'm here to help. Thanks.